Okay, so I wanted to kind of show what my block 3 looks like, and I'm actually breaking block 3, the tempo block, into block 3A and block 3B. And that's usually because I do 3 weeks on and 1 week off. But this time, because of when we're going on vacation and stuff, I have 5 weeks in between my last rest week and my next rest week. So I'm kind of doing like 2 1/3 on, 2/3 of a week off, or easier, and then 2 more weeks or 2.5 weeks on, depending on how we're doing here. But I want to show you what I've done so far for this block of tempo with 2 weeks down, basically. So I'm going to try to adjust this. All right, hopefully you can see this here. So here is the end of my last rest week. So that was May 26th. The 27th, my first day back, I did an easy ride. 28th, I did Worlds, just went out and did it. And I was happy that day because I felt like the 2 months of base actually paid off. Like I could feel like when we were going hard and I was recovering, I felt like I was recovering faster, which makes sense because the aerobic was what I was working on, and that aerobic felt good. So then the next day I rode easy. Then I did an hour tempo. So this was probably like an 1.5 hour ride, and I did an hour at 80%. Easy, then added a half hour to that. So another 1.5 hours, warm up, cool down, but an 1.5 hours in the middle at tempo. Sunday took off, Monday took an easy day, did Worlds again on Tuesday. Again, felt pretty good. I mean, I've not done any high-end intensity work except for Worlds. And I got dropped at the end going into the sprint, but when I started this process 2.5 months ago, I was getting dropped like the first hard effort. So I made it further than I've ever made it before, and I felt good about it. It did start to crack at the end, but yeah. Then on Wednesday, recovered, and then yesterday went out and rode 245 with a total of 2 hours at tempo. Today I'll take off. Tomorrow my plan is to do like a 65-mile ride, just do a group ride and have fun. Then I'm going to do Worlds next Tuesday, so all this circle is what I've already done. This is the plan. Then I'm going to kind of take it easy through here. I'll probably see, like this says 1 hour easy. I'll probably take this day off because I think my wife has the day off work. So I'll try to spend some time with her and ignore the bike. And then same here, down here, is I'll see what's going on with her and what else is going on in life, and then just kind of make a determination. And then I'll hit it hard again before we go into our vacation. A couple things I just want to point out that I think are important is I'm going hard, I'm going easy, I'm going hard, I'm going easy, I'm going hard, I'm easy, hard. So I'm not doing 2 workouts back to back. It seems that I'm having enough recovery. I will say that when I got done with this workout here, the Worlds, on this day, this night and this day, I was worked. Like I was thinking on Wednesday night, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this ride. Just because my body was so worked. I haven't done this program at this age, and I thought maybe I was overdoing it a little bit. But what I decided to do is on this day, when I was going to do the tempo, I went in and I thought, okay, I'm going to do the 2 hours, but I'm going to allow myself a little bit lower ceiling or a floor for the heart rate. So I'm going to give myself 75%. So even though the goal during tempo is 80%, and that's really what I wanted to shoot for, if I wasn't going to freak out if I, went a little bit below. So as a result of that, and as a result of the ride we did, as far as having to go through towns and stuff, out of this 2 hours, my average was 161, which is 83% for me. 160 is what I shoot for, which is 83%. So for me, that's perfect for this sort of tempo. So I averaged that, but I only spent I only spent an hour and 22 minutes out of that 2 hours in the zone of 160, above 160. And that's because there was a couple times where it dropped, but it's not that big a deal because it would drop down to you know, 158 or 157. So I'm still in that nice zone. But I have to say, felt really good during this workout, even though I felt so bad these 2 days. And I'm tired today, but I feel pretty good. Okay, hello. Could you please tell us your name, age, and what team you race for?
Brian Boers, aka the Mouse Killer. I'm 31 and I race for Black Diamond.
My name is Daniel Brown. I'm 39. My racing age is 40, and I currently don't race on a team.
My name is Sam Kiefer. I am 23 years old and I race for the Red Kite Fund.
My name is David Rohr. I'm 32 and I race for Team Athens Cycling.
And could you please tell us a little bit about your cycling life, what it's been like, what biking, how that plays a role in your life right now?
Cycling's a large part of my life. I commute to work every day, ride my bike every day pretty much. I do race. I'm category 3 in road and cyclocross, and I've got daughters that are just turned 5 and they love riding, and so we do it as a family. So it's very important all around.
Oh, it started off as a $300 bet that I wouldn't ride my bike to Canton, Ohio when I was 19, 18. And I did that, and then I decided I would go further and do a cross-country tour a few years later. Cat 4. I do probably 2 road races a year, including criteriums, and then 3 to 6 cyclocross races.
All right.
Category 1. I race mostly cyclocross. I also do some road and mountain biking. This past year I did a little bit more mountain bike training as a focus to improve my handling for cyclocross. In the past I focused heavily on road and have developed a good engine, which really helps with the cross season. And this year in cyclocross I'm going to be looking to do a pretty large calendar, mostly filled with UCI races and also supporting some local races around the Ohio Valley area.
I've been racing for about 10 years. I got into it my senior year of college. It was a nice competitive outlet. Cat 3 road racer and a Cat 2 cyclocross racer. Try to get in. Basically, I do whatever's close to home, whatever's within a couple hours. I've got a family at home. I got 2 boys that are running around, so it's kind of whatever fits in my schedule. But try to get a handful of road races in, and then cyclocross, maybe 10 races a year is a good season for me. Commute to work almost every day, so I'm always on my bike doing something, either racing or commuting or hanging out.
And could you please tell us a little bit about your training program? What does a typical training look like for you?
It usually depends on who I'm with, what their schedule's like, and what their plan is. And this year I've been riding with my friend Jason and following his plan.
So my training kind of changes throughout the year. I usually start around January, and I'll do some base training, just lighter miles. I try to get in. I mean, a big training week for me is 10 hours. Sometimes I'll probably get some weeks here or there that's a little bit over 10 hours, but it's about my limit. I mix in a couple days of running and try to do at least 4 days a week of cycling. And then as the weather gets better, I kind of transition from base miles and get into more. Some years I've done more tempo. This year I've done more of I'm either doing base miles or I'm doing more of a polarized approach this year, so more intervals. So it just kind of depends on what my season looks like. This year is kind of crazy because I'm moving, so everything's a little bit different, but kind of I try to ride the local hard ride with our team hosts, and that first year I think I probably put like over 9,000 miles on the bike, so I had a little bit more time to do base miles and just miles in general. As my family's come along, the cycling kind of fits around my family more so I've had to just try to be a little bit more, if I've got specific workouts, then I try to make sure I'm getting those in, and then just fit everything else around when I can, as opposed to being able to stick to come up with a plan at the beginning of the year and stick to it like I was able to before I was married and had kids. As I get closer to cross season, I'm a little bit more focused and maybe do a little bit more on my own just so I can be more focused on the season at hand. I'll go ride the mountain bike trails. I try to use some of the cross skills, so I'll go to a park and ride, just try some different skills and make sure that I'm sharp on mounts and dismounts and off-camera type stuff. Just try to incorporate some of those skills in my everyday riding.
Dave hammers me on the cross bikes. That's why I'm asking, is to get tricks.
It's funny, my training program, I've just kind of figured out over the years what my body can handle. I don't really have like a set training regimen or a coach or anything, but at this point I know my recovery's a little bit longer now than it used to be, so I keep that in mind. And I try to just, if I'm not racing, I try to go do a hard ride on the weekends, and then our Tuesday or Wednesday hard ride during the week is pretty important to me as well. One of the things that I do, and I don't usually share this with people, is if I'm trying to ride up a hill real fast, I just imagine that our house is on fire and I gotta get my girls out.
I mostly discuss a lot with my coach Ryan Gam, who encompasses a lot of holistic coaching. So he's able to tailor my training program around the rest of my life. So if I have lots of life stressors going on, he's able to curtail it so that I can focus on training in a healthy manner. A lot of cyclocross training I like to focus on doing on the trails, so it's a very realistic, practical approach, so that you're putting in efforts while you are still focusing on your technical skills, able to hone your skills while putting power down and working on your maneuvering.
And do you have any final words?
Bike riding is a real blast.
For me, I mean, cycling it's fun, it's passion. I'm never gonna go pro. It's about having fun. So I'm competitive. I like to ride hard, but I think whatever I do, it's always got to be fun. Yeah, so
I have some interesting motivation when I want to try to go fast.
Ready for a good season? This is going to be a good year.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Sure thing.
All right, thanks. Now we have a special interview. Poppy, where are you going? Come on, I'm just trying to get an interview.